Hello. Today is the day that I decided it has been long enough since I have this under my desk, and today is gonna be the last day I'm gonna have all that in my feet while I'm sitting at a computer, while I'm gaming, especially this cable. Always on my toes, man. So, everything went to sleep in the bed. My 3 screens and everything. Which, by the way, I'm gonna wipe them all clean with my usual solution, microfiber cloth and a bit of window cleaner spray. It's perfect for all the surfaces. Actually, I had some wet wipes from a local store, and they recently changed it to a kind of paper that leaves basically a trail of leftovers behind, and like paper fibers. They went really crap quality, but what can you expect from today's companies? So basically I want to put these two to work that I've built. What the hell? It's more yellow light. The walls have turned yellow here and they're white. Okay, so I'm gonna have these. See, the walls are white. And I'm gonna use these brackets, I hope they're called. If they're not called brackets, that's what I'm calling them. So deal with it. So it's just gonna be a couple of these for each one of these tubes, and somewhere behind the desk here, you see right in this space here, and I'm gonna just shove basically everything that's underneath there, and it's gonna be a nice cable management. But for this is gonna be a lot of work, which I'm not going to shoot it all. I mean, it makes no sense. It's just basically shoving cables. Nothing interesting. Probably a bit of how I'll screw the tubes behind the desk. Then I'm gonna use some spray paint to cover these chips as well. I had a shelf here that unfortunately I don't longer possess anymore. Another one of those weird English words that I can't pronounce sometimes. It's not like I don't know English, like I'm speaking and I'm writing and reading all the time, but when I want to say the word, it just comes out a mess. Then there's the IKEA lamp, which broke. They have this problem all the time. The foot breaks. That circular foot that comes into this stand here, and you gotta put some screw or rod in the middle here so it can stay upright. That's gonna be something else. I need to clear the desk, pull it out from the wall, and start working, and I'll come back when I'm doing some progress. Okay, and now the first thing after cleaning the desk, I'm just placing the brackets and the tubes on the this microphone. I have to find a professional solution. It's not that well made. And I'm just placing them the way they're gonna be. Only it's gonna be at 90 degrees on this side, and placing the brackets roughly where I want them to be, and using some small screws to put the brackets on the tubes. Let's see if these screws work. Kind of have to hold it with your finger until it creates a deep enough dent so the thread can start digging into the material. And some screws aren't really made for this. Okay, let's see. Now it's you don't see much. I think the exposure is a bit off. Anyway, it started digging a hole there, and I just screw it in. It doesn't have to be too tight. And I'm also gonna use only 2 of the 3 holes on each side because it's a bit too much, I think. Or is it? I don't know. Maybe I'll use all 3 holes. Come on. There you go. So this one's done. Oh, I'm gonna go for the full 3 holes. Okay, so now the first one is done, and you'll notice the positioning is a bit off, and that is because I want a second one. If I were to put them next to each other, they will be too long, but I want to place them like this, slightly offset each of them right next to the edge. And my plan is for one of them to be for just signal cables like HDMI, sound, and so on, USBs, and the second one just for the power extensions and power cords and power adapters. I have no idea how that will turn out, and I'll just need to keep working and see where I'll get. Okay, so this is what I ended up with. Looking pretty good. Now, the next part I'm not gonna show you on camera because it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna be very boring. It's basically just untangling this mess and basically running each cable through the tubes one by one and doing some cable management and all that. And it's gonna take probably at least a couple of hours, because imagine at first I have to untangle all of these, set the power cables and adapters aside, run the power extensions, then cable by cable. Some of them also need cleaning. I have the fiber optics for the internet here. Gotta find a place for the router as well, because I don't want to have it on the desk anymore, probably somewhere in there. And it's a bit boring and not really worth documenting, but I will come back as soon as I am ready to show you the results. Ain't that right, buddy? How you doing? What's up? What's up there, buddy? He wants to play. Hey. Come come on. He's just waiting there for me to attack my feet and hands. Okay, I'll be back with the results. Okay, so I'm halfway through. You can see I untangle all the wires, run some of them straight so I can make sure they're long enough. Unfortunately, I have a DisplayPort cable for my main computer screen, and this one is going to be too short to run through these cable channels. I still don't know what's the right word for these in English, and the writing is in Russian, so that's usually have European stuff. Yeah, so it's not gonna be long enough to run, so it needs to go down, then at an angle here, and it's not gonna be high enough to reach the desk. I forgot to buy one. I wanted to. I bought an HDMI for the third screen that's all the way out there at the other end of the desk, and you can see that one. It's it pretty much crosses the entire room. Perfect image as well, and I don't know what. Maybe there was an issue with the supplier or the stocks, or I don't know. But apparently I forgot. Other than that, it should be pretty easy. I have this hole in the wall here. This was a power socket. I removed it and I crossed. It took about an hour. I had to chisel my way through the wall. Fortunately, it's a brick wall. If this was concrete, this wouldn't have been possible. I can get the drilling bit to do that, but for one thing, I'm not sure if my power drill is actually powerful enough for that diameter, because these are heavy drills, like a few pounds of weight. They're not like the small finger size one, they're like fists of iron, of steel, and I'm not sure I had the money for it. It was, I searched for a good one, and it's something around $200, which is a lot. It's a lot. I paid, I think, like $50 or $60 for the drill. What the hell are you doing? Yeah, he just hides and starts meowing when he wants some attention. Yeah, I used this angle cutting guide to cut the cable channels, and now I'm ready. I'm thinking about non-intrusive ways to get these channels to stay in place, and I think I'll try to hot glue them onto the floor, because the floor is, as you can see, it's actually wood. So it's all wood sticks, little wood pieces, and it's actually pretty nice, and it's been like recently, what's the word? I don't know. Lacquered, you know, recently sanded and all that, so it's probably not a good idea to stick screws in it, especially since we're talents, you know. And I'm trying to find the least intrusive ways to do stuff, so I'll get to work, and I'll come back after these guys are full. Okay, now I'm done installing the cable channels, and I started pulling the cables through the channels. They're pretty nice too, this wood imitation. Fits perfectly with the wooden floor and the desk. And I'll just pull the cables and come back after I had done that. Okay, so now I'm done with pulling the cables through the channels. This is what it looks like. It's something else already, isn't it? Now what's left to do is set the desk on position back where it stays and put everything in these tubes and hopefully get a wonderful desk cable management. And I ran into the first major problem, because that's always the thing with, you know, trying to run cables in a different way than they were before, and that is the power cable from my sound system is too short now, and I have to make it longer, so that's what I'm doing. And apparently also I've run out of thin cables like these, so I'll just remove the plug and use this thick computer cable instead. It's a bit of an overkill, you know, but it works and it gets the job done. So I'm not entirely pleased and proud of this because it's stupid, but you know, there's a plug, there's a couple of wires. I give power to my sound system. Yeah, you know what I gotta do, I think. Which reminds me, I'm gonna write in my language. Oh, somewhere around here, tech area. This is something that I'll soon do on my computer, on my ticketing app. I've said I'll bring it online so many times. Let's see. Right, and what that means, it's thin 220 cable. It's not actually 220, it's something left from the communist era, when it was indeed the official voltage. It's 230 right now. Power cable, for short, or mains power cable, or whatever it's called. And another thing I'm not very proud of is a relay board that I've stuck into that medicine container there. Is it so hard to focus? Jesus. And what that is, it's basically a relay powered by the USB, so it powers the speakers automatically when the USB on the computer is powered on. So the speakers come on when the computer comes on, and they turn off when the computer turns off. It's really simple, but I didn't have anything else. And to be honest, it's pretty nice. I mean, I can paint it black or something, but it's too big for the cable channels, and it's gonna be on the outside like that. But you know, it's gonna be behind the subwoofer anyway, so I don't think it will be very visible. Another problem with this desk setup is because I still don't know what to do. I said that I will either get a couple of pieces of furniture, like I don't know what those are called, like the drawer stands, on either side of the desk because I still have a lot of stuff I need to organize in some fashion, in some furniture bodies. This is what he does. He just starts meowing, but that kind of meow that makes you think he's lost a leg or something. Shut the hell up! I'm shooting the video! And he hides under the bed after that and tries to hunt my feet. Right? Come on. I'm camera shy. And then I figured the satellites are gonna sit either on those drawer stands or on some shelves that I planned on putting, you know, maybe on the back wall here. But as always, it turned out I stopped having enough money for this and I just postponed it. Now the left speaker sits on a silicone tube on top of the subwoofer, which is not bad for the sound, but no, it's not very good looking either. And you know, I'm thinking about putting some kind of mounts, you know, some pieces of metal I can find in my boxes and just shove some screws on the wall. But then I think maybe a couple of months from now I'll get those shelves and extra holes in the walls are not something that I want, so I just go ahead and live on with improvised stuff. Anyway, I'll get to work. I'll make this cable long enough and I'll come back when that is done. Alright, it has been done, including the printer cable, and I'm gonna try and let you guys see this. It's gonna look like crap, but at least you'll have an idea of what is behind the desk. I'm gonna tell you, once these tubes get crowded, it's a hell of a task to run cables through, so it was quite an adventure. And also this piece of cable channel came off. I hot glued it to the wall, but the paint came off. It was pretty expected, to be honest, so I'm gonna try and use silicone instead and just glue it directly on the plaster behind the paint. At this point I might have just drilled a couple of holes and the damage is done anyway. Nothing too complicated. I can fix this at the moment when we'll leave this place, hopefully many years from now. Anyway, landlords here are fine. They don't care much about stuff like these as long as you agree to repair them before you go, or you know, they don't say much. They understand that it needs to be your home. I mean, he didn't say anything about that, so it's like a 3-inch hole in the wall. I think it's something like 3-inch, going all the way to the closet. So yeah, you know, as long as you keep it nice and tidy. Everything installed on the desk. Now I need to bring the desk back to the wall. I didn't do that because obviously I wanted to show you guys what's behind, but check this out. No more wires. Completely free. Oh, and I forgot about the the main screen cable. I gotta buy a new one, but that's an easy fix. I got rid of all the rest, and it definitely gives a more professional look. It it looked like a dumpster, just like a garbage container with all those wires. I'm gonna push the desk back to the wall, and I'm gonna come back with the actual end product of this day. It has been way over 2 hours, maybe 6 hours now. There's a lot of stuff that you need to do for stuff like these, and a lot of stuff that goes wrong as well. So, but anyway, I got it going, and I'll be back shortly after I push the desk back. And it has been done. Wow, a lot of work. If I look at a clock right now, I'd say somewhere around 7 hours. These things are never easy. And it's all just fine. You can see no more cables, with the exception of the HDMI for my main screen there. And perhaps another HDMI. I can't really pull hard on it right now because I've just put some silicone on that vertical piece that fell off the wall, and if I pull it will just come off the wall, but it seems it's not really reaching anymore. I mean, barely. Probably if I'll move the screens to the left a bit. Anyway, that's not a big deal. I wasn't currently using the third screen anyway, because it takes up too much space, and I don't really need it all the time. But yeah, besides that, just take a look at this and compare it to how it was. I think I'll put some screenshots, some stills to show you the difference. No wires, no power extensions, nothing. Oh, and this one, I'll use some plastic channel for this one as well, but for now it will just sit like this. It's not very annoying anyway. I don't know if there's even a point of using channel just for that. Maybe if I go all the way to the vertical one and come back, that's too much work. But the main problem was here in the chair area, because my feet get caught in all the wires, all the cables, all the it really felt like, you know, when there's fish or plants in the water and you get in, you know, kind of touch your feet, and it's I also ran a few charging extensions through these holes. This is the USB for my MIDI keyboard. I have it on that cabinet there. It's a charger for my ICOS, because I smoke ICOS. Charger for my phone. This one's the microphone. I just run it through neatly through those holes, and they go further down here with a bit of ISO, so you can see. and there's holes in the bottom panel, there's a hole in the back panel, and that goes straight into the plastic tubes behind the desk. And there you have it, a wireless desk. Oh man, a lot of work. Now I gotta fix the IKEA lamp too. If you look closely, there's a piece of metal stuck in there. I think I'm gonna have to maybe cut one of those rods I used for the tree stand. Cut a short piece and put in there. Anyway, that's a different story. Until next time, thanks for watching.